we're fascinated with the inner lives of our pets and highly curious about what they're doing and thinking when we're not around. The inspiration behind Pets was all of the pets that I've owned, my family's owned since I was a little kid. Cats, dogs,
Butterfly! 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 Butterfly!
bird. And what I realized as I became a parent and started buying our own pets,
Excuse me.
all invested these pets with these rich emotional lives. And whenever we'd come home, we would be thinking about the joy in our pets' faces and seeing us.
Oh, she's back!
Thinking about them doing things that were perhaps a little bit naughty that we realized that they had done while we were out. And it just struck me that I wasn't alone in thinking about what the inner lives of our pets were. And the minute I started to look at my own pets through that lens, I realized that everybody looked at their pets through that lens. And whether or not it's a real emotional life or a projected emotional life, it almost doesn't matter. Janet Healy is the best producing partner I could ever imagine having.
We make a great team!
At this moment in time, we're producing 4 to 5 movies. So when you're taking on that many films at the same time, there has to be a seamless relationship. And I'm very fortunate because I honestly believe that she has to be the best producer working in animation today.
People love their pets because their pets are unqualified in their love back generally. You know, from the time you're really small and you fall in love with puppies and kittens and your bird, it never goes away. Working on this movie has made me long for the time when I can have a pet again. I've had lots of dogs. I've had several cats, and so to have some animal at home is just a wonderful thing to come home to. I really do love the cat because it was the cat that I last had, and she is so much like Chloe and looks just like Chloe. I always remember the times that Binky did something that was amusing, or when I'd wake up and there'd be like this little tiny pat on my cheek, and I'd look up and there's this cat right in my face going, "Feed me," so much like Chloe.
Chris is an enormous talent. When I was running animation at Fox and executive producing movies there, he was our star storyboard artist. And eventually, we gave him short film to direct, and he did a fantastic job. And when I started Illumination, I had the opportunity to ask him to join us with the idea that he would direct. He's unquestionably one of my closest collaborators at Illumination. He is a tremendously good-natured collaborator and leader.
I think what drew me in were the memories of the pets that I've had through my life, and I've pretty much had everything under the sun: a dog, a cat, a lizard, gerbils. There's a guinea pig named Norman in this film, and the experience of our guinea pig getting out of the cage and we actually lost him is really where Norman's storyline comes from. He's lost throughout most of the film. He's not exceptionally bright.
Excuse me once again.
Even if I didn't bring the idea directly to the table, there were things that I would recognize when working with the animators. Like there's a small moment where Mel, the pug, gets excited. He hits his head on the table, and I remember my dog doing that all the time. She'd go to the table begging, and something would startle her, bang, and she'd hit the table. I think our relationship with animals and with the planet as a whole is just something that's so important, and I think it radiates out of that, and that's why we have these animals in our lives.
Thorax. Our production designer was Yarrow Cheney, who had also been production designer on Despicable Me. And at the same time we were making these films, we realized that Yarrow had real potential as a director, not just as a production designer.
He was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the best.
And Yarrow is an important, very important emerging part of not only our past films, but really our leadership of the future.
What drew me to the film was really, having pets. Growing up, my family had lots of pets and just all the little personalities, because every animal is different. And so the opportunity to capture that in a film was one of the things that spoke to me. So growing up, we had a cockatiel, and strangely enough, I knew the theme song to the Frogger video game. And so one day, Smokey was the bird's name. Smokey flew off, and we thought, oh my gosh, the bird's gone for good.
If my owner comes, put on the hood and pretend to be me.
A couple of months later, we were sitting in our living room, and we heard the Frogger theme song being sung by a bird in the front yard. And we walked out, and sure enough, Smokey was sitting there in the grass singing the Frogger theme song. And we were, ecstatic because our bird had come home, but there was that question. What was this bird up to for the last 2 months of our life? It was apparently fine. It was still singing.
Looking at the film, we can trace back where those instincts came from and whose pets inspired it. Lots of it came from our writer, Brian Lynch. Brian's been working with us for the last year plus, and a lot of the anecdotes of his life have made their way into the film.
I had one dog who is amazing. She's a great dog. We got her the minute we moved into our house. My wife has never had one. She's like, let's go get a dog. And we went to the
Excuse me once more.
I got another dog a couple of years later, and the old dog seriously looks at us like, wasn't I good enough? Like, why did you have to do this? And the new dog looks at us like, how long is she going to be here? Because I'm ready to just be the only dog. And they fight for a laugh.
Wait, what are you? How about we can both take this bed if we really
No.
try? Go in there.
No, wait.
Perfect.
They fight for love. So I have to think, I hope they're working it out when we're gone, but I don't think they are.
Hi, Matt. Hey, Gidget.
Who's your new roommate?
He's gonna be gone soon.
The second dog we got, he's an angry dog, and we don't know what happened to him beforehand. We got him from the shelter. But he's defensive, and the minute you show him love, he melts. Like, he's like, oh, you're the best. And I really think that fueled Snowball.
That ball of fluff's got a screw loose.
When I watch Snowball, he puts on this big act, but he just wants to be held and loved. And whenever I see him, I'm like, okay, thanks, Luke, because you just gave me that.
I'm gonna love you forever and ever and ever.